And it was, but you know what's great? You know what's great about her though? She didn't care.
That's what I love.
That was what was cool. She didn't care.
Yeah, because so much of school, and I dare say so much of life beyond school is gotta have the right people liking me. Yeah, but man, that's because that had to be tough on her. Because I almost think when you were talking about it, you were almost more concerned about how her life was going to be.
Oh, I definitely
not
was.
yours.
Oh,
hers.
I definitely was.
Yeah.
And and eventually the relationship fickled out and stuff like that. And we, remained friends and stuff like that. I don't know where she is to this day. I hope she's happy wherever she is.
I guess you had a sense early on maybe of seeing outside yourself more than what I sense a normal 15, 16-year-old kid is, right? I mean, just being able to see her, what you thought would be her pain, is that something that you grew through it, through that 8th grade, that 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grade junk, found yourself and, didn't have, because it's not easy to sit alone at a lunchroom.
It was easy for me.
Right, it's not, I guess, but I remember sitting with the cool group at lunch, right, and seeing people sit alone, and I would feel for them, but not enough to go sit with them,
Right.
And that's, I'm not pissed at myself because it was just part of my growth, my journey in life,
Right.
But it is something that now I kind of look back and go, why are kids so mean? Because when you were describing that stuff, I feel like that trend is still there. I don't know if that's ever going away, that a kid can't be mean just because of acne or whatever, fat.
I don't think it's ever going to go away, unfortunately.
Yeah, and it's just kids trying to find their own feet too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I still have a couple more songs, but I love that. I love that you can't kill me with kindness. I don't buy it. Is that because enough people around you stroked you to death? Is that where you're going with that, or what were you? Because
that's exactly what it. That's exactly what it says. That's that statement. I mean, I mean exactly what that means. I don't need you to sugarcoat something for me. I don't need you to make up a story for me to let me down easy. I would rather you tell me straight up what's going on, the way it is, in every aspect of life in general. I'm not a guy that wants to hear a backstory. I want to know exactly what's going on, when it's going on, and tell me the truth. And then we'll go from there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to have, it might be, and maybe later we can, and, one day I don't need that. Either make it happen or you don't make it happen. So that's just what that means. That was just a point for me. I had to put that there because that was kind of what was going on a bit, because when I was writing the record, everyone was, I was very secretive of the record to the label, aside from the A&R, my A&R guy, because he had to have the songs to know what was going on. And then he was filtering them to like Rob Cavallo and what have you when I didn't know about it. Because I just took off. I went to Los Angeles and I practically lived in LA for all of 2007.
Really?
And I just lived in a cave. I just lived in a studio the whole time. Worked with Dave Bassett quite a bit. Pretty much the whole record I wrote with him. Aside from 2 songs, I wrote Breaking Inside with Bobby Huff, and Tony Battaglia and me wrote Call Me. But yeah, I was working the whole time.
And then you also wrote with like Chris Daughtry too. How do you hook up with?
I wrote with Chris for his first album.
Right.
He was a big fan of Shinedown, and his A&R and his manager called me one day, and I was getting ready to run back on tour. I had like 2 days off, and he was going to be in Fort Lauderdale, and I was in Orlando, so I took a flight down to Fort Lauderdale because he was on the Idol tour at that time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Called him up and became really good friends with him, and they wanted to rock. They wanted a big, kind of a anthemic, power song. I mean, I think I have the fastest song on the record as far as tempo wise. So,
no, I interviewed him, and I think he's the real deal. I mean, I think he's a really good guy. And he was very complimentary of working with you. I mean, he was really excited, because his life went from 0 to 60 as fast as anybody's ever has,
Oh yeah.
And for him to stop and reach out to people that he respected and just like you said, just like Shinedown. I mean, because I think there's a part of that when you get up to 60, 70 miles an hour, you think, I'm Superman. You don't need to call on somebody who's had some success here and there.
He's getting to do something that, I mean, hell, man, that I dreamed about doing for a long time. He's getting, I think he just finished, actually. I'm not 100% sure, but I think he just wrote with Chris Cornell.
Oh, did he?
And he was so stoked about that, and I was like, you bastard. So I was like, no, I love Chris, man. Chris is awesome.
Breaking Inside. More in that starting life sort of a thing? You know, realizing maybe it's up to you?
Yeah, I mean, that was a song that was that one quintessential song on the record that I wanted someone to hear it and just kind of wake up and just be like, that was like the song on the record that was like, I wanted people to put that song in when they felt like they didn't want to get up in the morning. Like they could put that song in, get in their car, and feel good about waking up, going to work, going to school, doing whatever it is they're doing, and just feel good, you know, just not wanting to be the last one in line, like it says in the song, you know, go after what's yours, you know, and, you know, realize that sometimes you're going to feel like you're broken inside, and it's going to be painful, but, you know, you can get through it. You just got to fight for it. Everything I've been talking about, you know, everything I talked about on this record is a lot about just, you know, it's almost kind of like self-help, you know, but not like letting people around you. It's about understanding it for yourself, like the internal part of you. Like, you can't expect for just anyone and everyone to help you out. No one owes you anything. So
do you think you wrote about that because there is sort of that overriding thing that's in the air that somebody does owe me something?
Yeah, sometimes I feel like people will act as if someone owes them something, or that, you know, I've come in contact with that kind of mentality, and I just I've never looked at it like that. I think that you got to work. I mean, everything that's worth something is, you know, is worth fighting for. You can't go into something and go, I'm going to work really, really hard for this because I can't wait to get my reward at the end of it. You're not promised a reward at the end of anything. So you need to do it for yourself, and because you want to better who you are, not only as a person, but just the way you live your life, you know?
Hey, is Call Me just a breakup song?
Call Me is about a divorce.
Yeah, okay.
Call Me is a dear friend of mine. Was going through a divorce while I was making the record, and what I did was I wrote down what he couldn't say, how he felt about what was going on in his world, and he knows it's about him, and you know, he was a good guy, and things just didn't work out, and so I wrote down what he wanted to say. I feel like that I did, because that was what I saw him going through, and those were the words that came to mind.
Is Devour about our government's divorce from reality?
That's really
kind of a bad way to ask that question, but
no, man. No one will give any realistic answer as to finding a solution in order to bring these soldiers back to their families. No one is coming up with, you see all of these things that relate to, oh, we've had a struggle and now we don't have a struggle, and you know, we should be over there because, you know, the economy's a wreck right now. And it just seemed to me, and from being over there and being with them, that no one could give them an answer. And it was my way of stating to the president, as of now, this is what you've done, man. This is your, you know, what a way to go. You know, this is how you're going to go out. You're going to be remembered for the things that you did. And it was just, I just had to do it. I'm so pro-soldier, it's ridiculous because they're so incredible. And I don't want them ever to feel as if I'm disrespecting them by saying that what they're doing over there isn't helping us or isn't making us better, because they look at that as offensive if you say those types of things.
Right.
Sometimes they would take it the wrong way. That's not it at all. It's like, I wish I could give you an answer. I wish someone would come up with an actual way so that you don't have to keep going over there, or that you don't have to keep getting shipped off. Granted, they choose to go, and they're bigger men than me and women.
Yeah.
And I just saw the fact that there's so many stories about I mean, one GI in particular, in Fallujah, you know, he a 3-year-old daughter, man, that he had never actually physically seen. He's been there for like 3 consecutive years. He's never left.
Wow.
I'm like, are you serious, dude? She was born when he was there, and he was getting to, I believe, he had 3 or 4 more months, and then he was going to be able to see her. He was finally going to be able to go home and see her because he had been there for so long, 3 straight years.
That's what I don't know that I could.
I mean, he's seen her on like the computer screen and stuff like that, but he'd never touched her, never held her. He's 3 years old.
When I hear the word devour, especially the way you're using it here, is it because you feel like it's almost like their own ego devours them, the leadership? It's almost like they're devouring themselves.
You know, it's about the fact that, you know, becoming power hungry and oil-minded, you know, it's basically, you know, that's why I say the song, you know, suffocate your own empire. You know, that's what's happening, in my opinion.
Yeah.
There's no sign of anything in the future of it getting any better. I don't see any signs of it getting any better. No one wants to make it any better. That's why it's important. I mean, you know, man, I would love to think that there can be a compromise. There can be some kind of a real solution figured out. That's what everybody wants, but there's no sight of it. I don't see any signs of it. You know, when I say in the song, stolen like a foreign soul, I'm not talking about the people that are overseas. I'm talking about us. I'm talking about our soldiers. Those are the foreign souls.
Right.
Those are the ones that are being stolen.